Okay, so Greg actually has a two-part question here. So the first part of the question is, let's say you have an order set that uses a market entry order, but then sometimes you might want to switch to a stop entry order. Yeah, so is there a way to do that? So you just open up BlackBird, right? Open up BlackBird and let's see. Oh, shoot, I canceled what I had there. All right, let's just set up a quick dummy kind of order set here. All right, so there you go. Right, so you're using a market entry, and sounds like you probably might have some bloodhound signals there as well, right? So there you go. So BlackBird's normally using a market entry order, and then sometimes you want to use a stop, right? So you just open BlackBird up and just go open up the entry order there and switch it to a stop order, right? And then of course you have to tell it where to set that stop order there as well. So, and the good thing is you can predefine what your stop order price is going to be, right? So I'll just do something simple here. So let's take the high of the last 3 bars. Let's find the highest high of the last 3 bars. Plus an extra tick. There we go. All right. So there's probably a classic example of using a stop entry order, right? So we take the highest high of the last 3 bars there, and then maybe put it a tick above for your stop, right? So once you have this set up, this is actually recorded in a way, right? So I could then go and I could switch this to a market order, right? So this is a market order. And so BlackBird be trading a market entry, right? It'd be entering at market. And then, whenever you think you want to start using a stop entry, then you could open up BlackBird again, open up your entry order, and switch it to that stop order type. And you can see, right, it remembered what your last settings were. So it's set to the high of the last 3 bars plus a tick, right? So that way you don't have to scramble, setting all this stuff up again there. Let's see. Greg's asking, will switching the order types? No. Of course not. No, not at all. I mean, you can see I did that on the fly there. So, no. I gotta just click OK, and again, read the blue messages down here, guys. So BlackBird's telling you what's going on here, right? So if BlackBird has a trade open, this blue message is going to tell you that whatever changes you made will not take effect until the next trade, right? So obviously, if a position is open, obviously you can't change from a market entry to a stop entry, right? Because the position's already open, right? That hopefully that should make no sense. But also you can't change your profit targets either. So not while a position's open. So, if you wanted to change your profit target and stop loss, then you would just grab the flags and move them around, right? You don't do it within this. So, all right. So that was the first part of Greg's question here. Let's see. Well, actually, Greg knows the message that says press F5. Well, that's because I just enabled the Bloodhound signal source. So because I added Bloodhound to the strategy, NinjaTrader requires the strategy to be restarted there, right? So this is something outside of our control. Changing the order types, that's not adding an indicator that NinjaTrader has to spin up and start calculating, right? That's a totally different type of mechanism. Changing the order types, that can be done on the fly with NinjaTrader. As far as changing the indicators within a trading system, you cannot do that on the fly. Yeah, that requires a restart. So that NinjaTrader, because NinjaTrader has to start up a new instance of that indicator, and NinjaTrader can't do that on the fly. It requires a chart reload to do that. So that's what that message is for. I went in there and added that bloodhound signal there just to kind of complete the picture. So the second part of the question here is kind of a second clarification here is Greg wants to make sure that when you switch from a market entry to a stop entry, that BlackBird's not going to just start adding in additional contracts. So no. Once when let me switch this here. Yeah. And also, let me make a couple adjustments here. There we go. All right, that'll be a little better. And hold on, let me get rid of the bloodhound blank bloodhound signal there. So that's not doing any good. All right, so we do have to restart the strategy because I added and removed bloodhound. So there we go. All right, so let me remove that there. All right, so if we go long, you can see the go long button's disabled. So, and that is by design because BlackBird is specifically designed to not overtrade, right? So if you have a position open, it's not going to add any more contracts, even if you're using bloodhound signals. So if another bloodhound signal comes in, it gets ignored by BlackBird until this trade is over. The only thing that BlackBird will do is if a short signal comes in, it will reverse the trade for you, right? But it's not going to keep adding more contracts in the same direction, right? So this is a long trade. So if more long signals come in, BlackBird's going to ignore the long signals. But if a short signal comes in, it will reverse this long trade to a short trade, and that's it. So if more short signals come in after that reversal, it's just going to ignore those short signals. So that way, you don't overtrade and blow your account out. So that's built in to BlackBird as a safety mechanism there. All right, so and to get further kind of clarification on how these signal sources work, how BlackBird, how the signal sources work, and kind of what kind of built-in limitations there are, for these signal sources. So it doesn't matter if it's a bloodhound or an indicator-based signal, right? The way BlackBird's designed to interact with those signals is the same for both. But you can go to let's just do this. Let's go to the help menu and pull up the documentation. There we go. All right. So on the left-hand menu here, we can go to order sets. I'm sorry. No, let's go to trade signals. There we go. Right. So if we go to trade signals, right? So there's an explanation, of entry signals versus exit signals, and, an explanation of how BlackBird, utilizes entry signals and, dealing with open positions already, what's a pending order, right? So there's a full explanation, of how BlackBird, operates with, the trade signals there. All right, so this is definitely important information there, to kind of read this explanation there. Yeah, Greg says he has it set to only have one contract, one order in the market at a time. Actually, there is no way to turn that off. So that is inherently built into BlackBird. So you can't actually disable that. So, right. So, the number of contracts that BlackBird will have open at any given time is determined by the number of order sets you have, right? So, So if we create a second order set here, then most likely, if they're both market entries, then obviously you're going to have two contracts, and that's it. BlackBird's not going to submit any more contracts until until this trade is flat, and then BlackBird will allow you to. Then BlackBird will act on the next trade signal, right? Or if you're manually trading, right, this position here has to go flat. And boy, the market just seems really dead. Oh, well, this is a 5-minute chart. Okay. Yeah. So let me get this canceled here. Come on. Normally that would be a good thing, but I want the market to back up and hit my stop. There we go. Right. So there we go. So we can see, right, BlackBird is flat right now, and so now I can hit the go long button again. There. So Greg has a follow-up here. So just to make sure here, changing the order type will not take effect until the current open position is flattened, not exited, but flattened would be the proper terminology. Your entire position has to be flat, and a restart is not required. So that would be correct. Yep. So let's do this. We'll kind of make this a little more complicated, right? So there we go. So we can see I have two contracts here, right? We can see right here, right? Right here. We're two contracts long. And I can go in here and let's say I just want to change the second one to a stop, right? And you can see here, right, I changed it to a stop entry. And because B was a copy of A, B remembered, how that stop order was being placed, right? Remember, it was at the highest high of the last 3 bars plus a tick. So remember that because remember, I used the copy option here. So copied everything from A into B. But anyways, the point is, right, I can change B to a stop, click OK, and there you go. You can say here, right there, new settings will take effect after the current position is flat. So there we go. So everything has to go flat. And then the next trade, will have a market entry and a stop entry. And all right, so we got that one taken care of. Options expiry. All right, looks like we got through Greg's questions there. Okay.